Hello, this is a short video to explain to parents how to use Insight for their child or children who are students at Rawlins. The first thing you need to do is to log into Insight, which you can get to easily from the homepage of the Rawlins website here. And you will have been issued with a username or password for the site, which you can use to log in. When you first arrive into Insight, you'll be presented with this summary page. The summary page gives you an idea of various notices like term dates, homework assignments that have been set, summary of behaviour, and also links into linked documents like progress checks. If this was being recorded on a school day, you would see the attendance for today. If we click onto the Assignments tab, this gives you information about the homework that your child has been set. We can see here that Harry has been set a range of different homeworks. It gives you a summary on the left-hand side of what the homework is. It gives you the due date, which is the important date, because that's the date that it needs to be handed in. And if you scroll down, you will actually see that it's in due date order. You then have the subject, the class that he's in, and the date it was issued. In many cases there will be an attachment, and this may be worksheets they need to fill in or information that will help them, and there will also sometimes be detail of the work listed directly underneath. You can see that we can also embed links to things like YouTube if there's things that we want the students to go off and look at and do their own research. There's another online link here from Science. So that's very useful. All the students' homework should be recorded here. They should also have the deadlines for their assignments recorded in their planners. So the deadlines should be in their planners, and the detail of the homework assignments should all be listed on Insight. We go to Parents' Evenings. This is quite important as a parent. You want to make sure that you get appointments that suit your time, and this system actually allows you to take control of that instead of asking your child to go and make the appointments for you. So if you click on Parents' Evenings, you will see the actual evening will appear on the left hand side, and all of the teachers that are available for you to book your appointments with are on the right hand side. So I'm actually able to make my Parents' Evenings early, so I'm going to just click on the teachers, leaving a little gap between each one, and you can see that my appointments appear over on the left hand side. When I'm happy that I've got all the appointments that I want, I click on this Save button. It will save those appointments for me, and it will also allow me to have a record of that. And you can see it's opened up at the bottom as a PDF document, and if I open that up, then I have a PDF record of Harry's appointments, which I can then print out or save. The next tab down on the left hand side is Personal Details, and this gives me access to the personal information that I have provided as a parent to the school about Harry. If any of this information is inaccurate, you can then contact the school and let them know that that information needs to be changed. There is one way to contact the school, which is via School Details tab, and that brings up a Contact Us box that you can very quickly and easily get a message to us. If you want to contact a specific teacher, however, then the best tab to go to, if we just skip down a few, is the Staff Contact tab. This is very, very useful as a parent because if there's a specific query that you have about a specific subject, or you just want to make contact with your child's coach or head of house, you click on Staff Contact, you can see that all of the contacts are listed here. So if I want to contact Harry as head of house, I can just click on the tab, type a message, and that will be sent direct to her. On the left hand side, we also have the link into WisePay. So if you click onto the link to WisePay, then you can click through, you can pay for their school dinners, you can pay for their school trips, and that's without having to have a separate login. You won't need to log in again, you just need to click through. We also, down the left hand side, have the timetable tab. This is live timetable, so it actually shows you whether your child has been marked present or absent for various different lessons. So we can see the timetable here for Harry for the week that's just finished. So we can see all of his lessons. We can see that he was marked present for his lessons, or in some cases he was actually in an exam during that lesson time. So that's very useful. If I then click to the following week, I will be able to see exactly what lessons he's got, who his teachers are, and as the week goes on, whether he's actually attended those lessons. The final useful tab in the general section is the SEN details tab, and this actually enables parents to see the SEN information that we hold on your child. So we can see with Harry at the top there's a particular need that he has, so that's been recorded, and underneath it's the gifted and talented information, so it's actually the subjects that he's been listed as gifted and talented in. So that's useful information for parents. So now we come on to the attendance tab, and there's a lot of data in the attendance section of Insight. It basically gives you all of the attendance information that we hold on your child. So you are seeing exactly what we have recorded. So you can see if I go into AM and PM attendance, this gives you the legal attendance. So legally we record morning and afternoon attendance, and each one counts as a session. So you can see where your child has been present, where they've been coded perhaps as ill, or where they've perhaps been coded as being out on a visit. You have week by week percentages down the right hand side, and at the bottom you can see a summary. So you can see that Harry has spent 7 sessions, so that would be 3.5 days on educational visits. He's had 10 sessions or 5 days of sickness, and he's been late once. Also gives you information about absences, whether they were authorised or whether they were unauthorised, whether they're unexplained, and we would ask that if there are any unexplained absences that you let the school know why your child wasn't in school that day. And at the bottom it gives you the information by session, so Mondays, Tuesdays, etc. This is quite useful if you notice a pattern of your child perhaps always wanting to be absent on a particular day. You can see that pattern building up. In this case, Harry's absences are reasonably well split across the week. We're going to lesson summary. This will actually break it down even further for you, and you'll be able to see which specific lessons have been attended. So we can see in Harry's case, when he's in school, he's attending every lesson. There's no absences appearing in the middle of the day, which is exactly as it should be. We can also hover over each of these squares and see which lesson it actually was. And again, if we go to the bottom, we've got some pie charts that tell us what his attendance is, and we can also see attendance by subject at the bottom. If we click on attendance career, that gives us a breakdown of Harry's overall attendance in each of the terms since he has been at Rawlins, and as he goes through the school, that graph will build up. And finally, there is a facility for you to be able to report absences and also to report planned absences such as doctor's appointments or dentist appointments that you know are coming up. You can report those and you can send them directly into the school. The next main tab on the left hand side is behaviour, and this is where you can see details of all of the positive and negative behaviour details of your child. The first tab is for achievements, and as you can see, Harry has, if we look at the bottom here, 119 what we call positive logs, so achievements that have been recorded by his class teachers within school. And you can scroll down and you can see when they're recorded and who they're recorded by, and sometimes you can see additional detail of why that has been recorded. If we go into behaviours, this is where you will find the more negative behaviours have been recorded. In this case, you can see Harry's got just 6 points across the year for negative behaviours being recorded, and this is failure to complete homework, failure to listen, uniform breach, things like that have been recorded by his class teachers. Sometimes you'll see within the body of these more information. You might see that they've been given an informal detention as a sanction. More formal detentions will be recorded under the detentions tab on the left hand side, and we can see Harry hasn't actually had any formal detentions up until now, but this week, because he's missed a deadline, he actually has a detention scheduled for next week. It tells you where it's scheduled for, and once Harry has attended that detention, it will record in here that that has been attended. There's also tabs on the left hand side that will only really be used by a minority of students, and that is where we have placed the student onto a report card, so where their teachers have to report on them every single lesson, and also where a student has been excluded. Neither of these apply to Harry, so there is no data to display. The next tab down becomes increasingly more important as the student moves up the school, and that is the exams tab. Now, there's various pieces of information in here. The first piece of information is the student's key stage results. So this is where the data is recorded from Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2 and Key Stage 3. You can see here that if we scroll right to the bottom, we have Harry's Key Stage 1 results, so his SATs results from when he was at primary school and his levels. We can see his Key Stage 2 results. Missing papers sometimes apply if the student was perhaps ill when those tests were taken. And at the top we can see their Key Stage 3 results, and these are the levels that the school has assessed them at the end of Key Stage 3, so at the end of Year 9. If we then go into examination entries, we can actually see the exams that the student has been entered for and the session they've been entered for them. Now in this case, Harry has just completed his internal Year 10 exams. So 2004 Year 10 exams. These weren't external exams, but we have recorded them as examination entries. It was a formal Year 10 exam week. Harry does have one real external exam to do, and that is the 2014 May and June series, and it is a BTEC PE exam that he needs to take, so that has been recorded here as well. And as Harry goes through into Year 11 next year, all of the detail of his exams will be recorded there. Harry's examination timetable is also available on Insight, and you can see the dates that he's sitting the exams, the time he's sitting them, and also the duration of each of those exams. When Harry does get his examination results, they will appear under the examination results tab. So when Harry receives his result for his BTEC PE exam, that is where that information will appear. And the final tab, which is very useful to parents, is the students' progress reports. Now, these do get sent home as a paper copy, but it's very useful to be able to look back and see their progress reports. So if we click onto his Year 10 progress check, that will actually open up for us in the window, and you can zoom in on that and you can see Harry's various different attainment grades. So you can see his subjects and his teacher, his bronze target grade, which is the absolute minimum we expect, his gold target grade, which is the grade that he should be aspiring to achieve, and then we can see what his teachers have assessed his attainment as at different points in the year. The colour codes are yellow if Harry is achieving the bronze grade that we have set for him, green if Harry is achieving higher than the bronze grade we've set for him, and we can see Harry's got just a few reds there, which is where he is actually currently a grade below his bronze grade. So he needs to do some work with his teachers to get himself up to his bronze grade by his next progress check. I hope that video was useful and informative to show you around Insight and the different functions that it has and how it can help you as a parent. If you do have any further questions or you have any suggestions for improvement, please do not hesitate to contact the school. You may also wish to view the student Insight video and the student VLE video with your son or daughter, so that you can make sure that they're aware of the information that's out there for them, and it's also quite useful for you to see the way that students actually view this data, which is slightly different to the way that parents view it.